What is up, Wastelanders? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving deep, and I mean Great War deep, into the absolute enigma that is Cooper Howard. Now, we all know the ghoul. He's the baddest, meanest, most cynical gunslinger to ever walk the scorched remains of the United States. This is a guy who treats trust like a spent fusion core. Useless and potentially explosive. But Season 2, Episode 7 just dropped a lore bomb that has the entire community scratching their heads. We see a pre-war Cooper, a man who just discovered his wife is literally plotting the apocalypse, make a move so baffling it makes a Deathclaw look cuddly. Why on earth did Cooper Howard trust the President of the United States? Grab your Nuka-Cola, sit back, and let's break down the most controversial character decision in Fallout history. The man, the myth, the movie star. To understand why Cooper made this massive leap of faith, we have to look at the headspace of a 2077 movie star. Before the skin-peeling radiation and the 200 years of jerky eating, Cooper was the face of American heroism. He played the hero on screen because, deep down, he believed in the American dream. But as Season 2 has shown us, that dream was rotting from the inside out. The Barb factor. The penultimate episode gives us that gut-wrenching flashback. Cooper finally gets his hands on the key to cold fusion from Hank McLean. This is the holy grail of the Fallout universe. Infinite energy that could, theoretically, stop the resource wars and prevent the bombs from ever dropping. The wild part? Barb Howard, his wife, the Vault-Tec executive who was ready to trade the world for a management position in the afterlife, actually helps him. This is a turning point for Coop. His wife, the woman who betrayed his soul by involving herself with Vault-Tec's dark secrets, shows a flash of humanity. The theory, when Barb helps Cooper reclaim cold fusion, it doesn't just give him a battery, it gives him hope. If a villain like Barb can choose the right path, maybe the system can too. The underdog complex. Cooper Howard has always had a soft spot for the little guy. We saw it in Season 1 with Lee Moldaver. He respected her grit. He respected her desire to actually fix things rather than just profit from the decline. In the flashback sequences of Season 2, we see Cooper aligning himself with a female politician who is clearly struggling to connect with the corporate elite that run the show. Cooper sees himself in her, an outsider trying to do the right thing in a world of suits and snakes. So when the opportunity arises to take the cold fusion tech to the highest office in the land, Cooper sees it through this warped lens of heroism. He thinks he's playing the lead in one of his westerns. He's the brave rider coming into town to hand the sheriff the evidence that clears the rancher's name. But there's a problem. The sheriff in this scenario is the President of the United States. And in the Fallout universe, the President isn't exactly a beacon of morality. The President versus Mr. House. This is where the logic starts to fracture. Cooper Howard met Robert House. He looked into the eyes of the wealthiest, most calculating man in America and immediately clocked him as a predator. Cooper knew the corporate elite were the ones holding the matches, while the world soaked in gasoline. So why, after recognizing the danger of Robert House and the treachery of Vault-Tec, did he think the President would be any different? 1. The aura of the office. For a man of Cooper's generation, the presidency still held a sacred weight. Even as the world crumbled, the idea that the commander-in-chief was the ultimate good guy was a hard pill to stop swallowing. 2. The Clancy Brown effect. Let's be real for a second. Meta-wise, the president is played by Clancy Brown. If you've watched a movie in the last 30 years, you know that if Clancy Brown is in a suit, he is not your friend. He's the villain, always. The fact that Cooper hands over the key to limitless energy to a man who radiates deep-state villain energy is the ultimate irony. It shows that for all his combat experience and Hollywood cynicism, Cooper Howard was still incredibly naive. A costly lesson in faith. As we know from the state of the world 200 years later, this decision was a disaster. The president didn't use cold fusion to save the world. He didn't use it to provide free power to the struggling masses. Instead, that technology was buried, hoarded, or used to fuel the very machinery that ensured the Great War was inevitable. Cooper's trust didn't just fail, it backfired. It's likely that the realization of this betrayal, this ultimate FU from the government he once served, is what truly transformed Cooper Howard into the ghoul. Trust is a luxury the wasteland doesn't afford, but Cooper had to lose everything, his wife, his career, and his country, before he finally learned that lesson. The takeaway, Cooper Howard's decision to trust the president wasn't a plot hole. It was a character tragedy. It was the final gasp of a dying era of optimism. He wanted to believe that someone, somewhere, was still wearing a white hat. He was wrong. What's next? So what do you guys think? Was Cooper just a victim of his own patriotism? Or was there something else at play? Did Barb manipulate him into giving the tech to the president as part of a larger Vault-Tec shadow play? Drop your theories in the comments below. I'll be hearting the best ones. Would you like me to do a deep dive into the Enclave's involvement in the Season 2 finale and how it links back to this presidential meeting?